Abby, this neighborhood will operate much like condominiums, but with a much larger focus on community. Here's a look at the co-housing site plans. It sits on about 8 acres of land. There are 36 living units in total. Was paroled 7 years early. And now, if you can take a look here, Jones is actually being held here at the Johnson County Jail just across the street from the crime scene. Ron, that's right. And there's always so much excitement around the Winter Olympics. I already have my Olympics hat ready to go. Family Video here in Iowa City is calling it quits. But why are we seeing so many of these video rental stores closing? Well, earlier tonight I asked you on Twitter what you prefer, either online streaming services or physically walking into a store. An overwhelmingly number of you say streaming services at 88%. Cash and credit is customary, so you may have a hard time finding many, if any, area businesses currently accepting Bitcoin. But online realtors are joining the crypto wave. Right now you can see there's a lot of snow coming down, and that means there's a lot of snow building up. But that's not enough for the university to cancel classes because it follows an extreme weather protocol. Oh my gosh, I can't imagine what it's like to be under all those layers. The biggest part of the renovations would start here at the feed. That's because, as you can see, the bricks are starting to break apart down here. Before you go ahead and pick up the shovel, you should know you could be putting your heart at risk. Well, Ron, Richard Hopkins was an Army veteran. He was diagnosed earlier this year with a benign brain tumor, and after multiple surgeries that had complications, it led to his death. Now, Hopkins no longer has a voice of his own, so his family is telling his story for him, and they want answers.
Yeah, he was definitely one of a kind.
Richard Hopkins was a man of many trades.
He really was.
He was witty, the life of the party, a hardworking dairy farming man who loved himself a good pair of overalls.
He hasn't taken a vacation or a sick day in 10 years.
But especially being a grandfather. It's those memories of him in these photographs.
I love that picture of him
that his family is now left with.
Always happy.
In July, under Dr. Schneider's care, he had surgery to remove a benign brain tumor. By August 23rd, and 3 more surgeries due to complications later, Richard Hopkins had died from an infection.
What is going on? This is just complication after complication.
The pain of his death soaring after the family learned of Dr. Schneider's past.
I was just appalled, because regardless of what Schneider may or may not have done, I feel like Iowa City is at fault because they hired him illegally. They knew his track record. They knew that it was illegal to hire a physician that had lost his license in any state, and they still did it.
Now it's the what-ifs that haunt his family.
Maybe it could have been avoidable. Losing a loved one, it could have been. We can't say for sure. We don't know right now. We're waiting. What if
I wouldn't have pushed him into having that surgery? Would he still be here if Schneider didn't do the surgery? The what ifs are what make me the most angry, because they're causing me to second guess everything.
Through their grief, they're hoping their story will bring awareness and better care to veterans after their own veteran couldn't be saved.
It's empty. Nothing's the same. And for him to have died when he didn't need to makes it even worse.
His daughter says she requested his medical records long before this, but hasn't heard back from the VA. In fact, they haven't heard anything from the VA. Live in Iowa City, Jalyn Souchek, News 7, KWWL. That's right. Officer Jackie Anderson knew she had to do something when a puppy was badly injured, and veterinarians feared they would have to put it down. University of Iowa police officer Jackie Anderson has always been a dog person. A canine officer for the department, her and Fallow have been a power duo for 3 years now.
I've always liked the idea of having a partner in my car who, without question, will have my back 100%.
During a night shift in January, Officer Anderson's team was about to grow when she was notified about a domestic abuse call.
It was an argument over the puppy where she was accidentally hurt when one person fell on her. She broke both of her front legs and had some lung contusions.
The victim was a 5-month-old pit bull named Izzy, but the owners couldn't afford to treat her injuries.
On her right front paw, All the bones across the paw were broken, and then the left elbow was broken as well, plus then the lung contusions.
Anderson says because of her breed and the mounting medical bills, vets feared she'd have to be put down.
I wasn't going to be able to just walk out of there and not look back and not be able to help her.
The owners agreeing to surrender her, and vets were then able to treat her. After finalizing the adoption process, Izzy is now at her new home with Anderson and Fallow, where she's happy and healing.
And the front foot, too, is a little different.
But Izzy's recovery is far from over. She's still limping, and her foot is still deformed.
Initially, we had anticipated them amputating the leg if they couldn't pin it. They were able to pin it, which was good, but amputation's still not off the table.
But that's still an improvement from where she began.
All she wants is to be held and petted. And that hasn't changed at all. As you guys saw when you came in, she's overly friendly.
Yeah. And as for Fallow,
here we go.
He's adjusting just fine as a new big brother.
Yeah.
Anderson said they adopted her knowing that they would have to absorb quite a bit in medical and physical therapy bills, but what she didn't know was how many people would then step in to try and help them cover those costs. Live in Iowa City, Jalyn Souchek, News 7 KWWL. Talk about a very special day as staff went room to room handing out gifts to patients. They do this every year, but this is the first time at the new Children's Hospital. We got a chance to follow along to see what this means for patients and their families. They may not be Santa's elves, but these two are the next best thing.
Happy holidays, Lauren.
Bearing gifts, hospital staff brought Christmas right to the beds of UI pediatric patients.
It's a big deal to kind of provide some normalcy and really make sure that the kids are able to celebrate the holidays just as if they were at home.
Unwrapping presents. Hospital rooms begin to fill with the sound of the holidays.
Bag of presents here for you.
And the smiling faces make it look a lot like it too.
Look, Mark, you guys just made my day a little better.
Yeah.
Bless all your heart.
They get to see the kids' emotions. It's pretty powerful stuff.
The families behind these doors know just how hard it can be to spend the holidays in a hospital wing.
It's rough, but we're making the best out of it. We can have Christmas anywhere. It doesn't matter where you are. It just matters that you're with family.
The staff understands it's also hard on the siblings who are staying by their side. For the Borges family, gifts for all 4 of their little girls.
Very excited and very grateful. They've, of course, every kid is always worried about when are we going to open up presents? Are we going to get presents? What are we going to do? So it just made them all feel like Christmas was here and a little bit of normalcy.
All to bring a little bit of joy while showing what the holidays are really all about.
Thank you.
They get to be kids, which is really what a kid should be able to do and experience all the emotions.
Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. Happy holidays.
Child life specialists here really get to know the kids during their stay, so they picked out the gifts for the kids according to their likes and their personalities. All those gifts were made possible by donations from the community. Reporting in Iowa City, Jalyn Souchek, News 7 KWWL.